This was a magnificent speech. I mean, it was sort of his version of "I Had a Dream" speech.
The point was to come in and to establish a dialogue, to turn a page, to have a conversation with the Muslim community. That was the point. He accomplished that in spades.
Al-Qaeda killed nearly 3,000 people on 9/11. The victims were innocent men, women, and children from America and many other nations. And he went on disabusing the conspiracy theorists throughout the Middle East that there was somehow a moral middle ground on 9/11. He said, we were hit. It impacted us significantly. We were justified in going into Afghanistan.
He was fair to both sides, but he certainly was tough as well.
And he also talked about the Arab countries having a responsibility, and I think that that's key. I think he used the right tone.
Comments on our blog, so allow me to share some of our viewer response to President Obama's speech. Most of the comments we're getting so far are very positive. This from Adam. President Obama is a visionary. I thought his speech was fair, respectful, and well organized.
I actually spoke with people across the region this morning and found it interesting that everybody got something out of it. There were democracy and reform advocates who liked that part of it, and some folks thought that the Palestinian-Israeli part was great, and others thought that focused on partnerships as we move forward in economics and in infrastructure and capacity building was great.
What he said on women's rights and talking about the investment in literacy for girls and employment through microfinance, and how every woman's choice in terms of how she chooses to live her life should be respected. That is something I have heard for years and years and years from now Secretary of State of Hillary Clinton. I am told President Barack Obama wrote that section absolutely himself, and I thought he was right on point, and I thought it was a great statement for him to make.
Well, I think the most important thing probably was his outreach to the young people. The majority of people in that region are under the age of 24. In the Arab world, there are 10 million young people between the ages of 6 and 15 who are not in schools. He talked about creating a future for them in terms of not just the kind of Arab-Israeli conflict and the terrorism that defines our agenda, but in terms of what their agenda is.
I think it might be accepted here in the United States. One of the key things we see in polls is that the United States, the people of America, are pleased that their president is, quote, restoring the position of America in the world. This was one of the key things going into the election, and it's one of the key things Americans talk about right now. But very importantly, it is a new page that's turning.
Barack Obama is perhaps the greatest challenge Osama bin Laden has faced since he was being chased out of Tora Bora in 2001. This is a real threat to the continued expansion of Al-Qaeda.